Welcome into Believe Me right here on Stadium. That man right there is the former NFL tight end Clay Harbor. I am Cam Rodgers. We're here to win you some money. We'll see you at the cash counter. What's going on, Clay?
Not a lot here, man. Just still licking my wounds from the Super Bowl. You know, I'm a former Eagles guy, so maybe I bet a little bit more with my heart instead of my head. But it was a fun weekend. We learned a lot about the NFL, and I think we saw a lot of storylines come to fruition. And can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah, we saw each other in Phoenix, my friend. You were on the Eagles. I was on the Eagles. The Clay and Cam curse, if you will. The Chiefs ended up winning that football game 38-35. Just your general assessment of that game there, Clay.
I thought that we saw, obviously there's been a lot of rumblings about the field, really hurt the Eagles defense. But I thought the Eagles defense had to hit home and had to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes. I thought they would to make this game more of a defensive game, get pressure. You can't blitz Patrick Mahomes. He's the best quarterback in the league against blitz, over 100 rating against the blitz this year. So I thought this front four could get home. They didn't. They got 0 sacks in the entire game. And that's why the Chiefs were able to score 38 points. You saw Orlando Brown on the Chiefs celebration bus wearing a T-shirt that said 0 sacks on it. They gave up none, 0, zilch from a team that had 70 sacks during the regular season. To me, that is the biggest reason why they're able to move the ball so well and score so many points.
Yeah, absolutely. I was thinking Giants circa 2007 against the Patriots, that front four getting pressure on Tom Brady. We did not see that with Patrick Mahomes and the Eagles defense in Super Bowl 57. How about the over in this game, Clay? The over-under was 51. Of course, the public loves to go on the over. That came to fruition, and the over hit easily, 38-35, the final score. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, two of the best offenses in the league. The Chiefs were number 1 and the Eagles were number 3. But, the flip side of that, the Eagles had the best pass defense in the league too. So for me, I was leaning towards the over. I didn't touch it because I never liked betting against Patrick Mahomes, even though I did with the Eagles. But to me, I thought this Eagles defense would come to play. They would play a little bit better. I thought the pressure would get Patrick Mahomes flustered with the ankle. It didn't. He showed why he's the greatest player in the game today. So the over was a good call. Both these offenses are great. Jalen Hurts, people saying he doesn't play well in these big games. He showed up. He graded out better than Patrick Mahomes did. This guy showed that he is one of the great quarterbacks in the league. This guy's only 24 years old. The future is bright. Mahomes, Hurts showed up, and they showed they can play good on the biggest stages.
Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes. Are we entering dynasty territory here, Clay? Maybe not Belichick and Brady quite yet, but are we getting there?
I mean, 5 straight years in the AFC Championship game, 2 Super Bowls. I think to me that's entering dynasty. And we're not seeing the New England Patriots dynasty. I don't know if we'll ever see that again. Yep. The way these rules are set up with the salary cap and things like that. But this is dynasty mode. This is supposed to be a rebuilding year for the Chiefs. Remember, everybody. When the cheetah, Tyreek Hill, goes elsewhere, Mahomes isn't going to be able to get it done. He doesn't have the cheetah to stretch the defense. They can't do it. He comes back and shows why he is the greatest quarterback in the game right now. Travis Kelce, best quarterback, best tight end in history, in my opinion. This guy, Patrick Mahomes, had Marquez Valdez-Scantling looking like a number 1 receiver. Had Juju Smith-Schuster looking like a number 1 receiver. Mecole Hardman looking like a number 1 receiver. This has me wanting to come out of retirement, tell Andy Reid to put me in tight end. I'd probably have a career year with this guy. It's incredible.
You would score like 15 touchdowns in the season with Patrick Mahomes, Clay. That is for sure. Next year, MVP favorite has to be Mahomes, right?
Mahomes is the favorite. Mahomes always has to be the favorite. But I think Jalen Hurts is a guy, if he doesn't get hurt, no pun intended, I mean, he's flirting with that award too. Mm-hmm. I think my main man, QB1, Justin Fields, he only got one fifth place vote for the MVP. I think he's a dark horse. If he could bring the Bears to the playoffs, improve what you saw what Jalen Hurts did last year to this year. Stats eerily similar. I think Justin Fields can make a similar jump. The odds are low for Fields. They got $100 million to spend in free agency and the number 1 overall draft pick. To me, that's worth a shot. Justin Fields, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, obviously Joe Burrow's a guy that you're looking at, but all these guys I think have the ability to win it.
Okay, Super Bowl 57 in the books, my friend. Let's look ahead. Why not to Super Bowl 58? The odds are out there over at Bet Online. The Chiefs are the favorites, plus 550 to repeat. Remember, we have not seen a repeat champion since the Patriots of the early 2000s. The Eagles plus 750, second place. 49ers plus 800, Bills plus 850. Who's the favorite in Clay Harbor's eyes?
Well, the favorite has to be the Chiefs again. I know it's tough to repeat, but I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes coming back. You got Travis Kelce coming back. I know they got a couple of free agents. Orlando Brown's a free agent, the big left tackle. But, I think with that team, Andy Reid, I think they're still the favorite to win. But I think as far as the odds are concerned, I think there's some good value bets. If you want a long shot, I like the Seahawks at plus 660. They were a decent teem. They're a good team, man. The Seahawks were not a bad team, and I think they're below the Bears. The Bears went 3-14. As a team that had a winning record, the Seahawks, I think, should be a good long shot bet. And another bet, I know, long shot bet that I like, and I know this sounds crazy, and just stay with me here, but the Denver Broncos. Okay, whoa. I get it, but Sean Payton coming in, Russell Wilson has been there before. He's won it before. No way Russell does what he did this year again. They're going to have some of the receivers coming back. I think the Broncos are another long shot bet. You see both this coach and this quarterback have both won the game before. Okay, now you're getting some weapons back. I think they have an opportunity.
I'm riding with you on the Seattle Seahawks. I see some serious value. I'm going to push back, though, on the Denver Broncos here, Clay, because, a coaching change that's going to, magically make Russell Wilson good again? Clay, you saw him play. It was bad. It was bad.
It was bad, but Russell is known as being one of the hardest workers in the league in circles. A lot of people don't like him. But people that don't like him, even they say, okay, you admire this guy's work ethic, and he's a little different. But I love to bet on the guys I know are going to work. He's going to work. He's a guy that will do everything he can to turn this thing around. Sean Payton, believe it or not, Cam, I even played for the Saints. I know I basically played for every team. I played for the Saints. I was on a coaching staff with Sean Payton. My last year with the Saints, we would have had a chance to go to the Super Bowl. They don't call this pass interference on my man Tommy Lee Lewis.
Right.
Drew Brees throws the ball. I think we were going to the Super Bowl that year. Sean Payton knows how to get it done. He's a great coach. I think there's a chance there.
All right, we'll see what happens on the Denver Broncos side. I want to talk about some other value options here, Clay. Miami at 33-1, Tua coming back, presumably healthy, better defense perhaps. That's interesting to me. The Raiders at 25-1 if they get a good quarterback. Anything else sticking out? Your Jaguars 25-1. That could be some value.
Yeah, I like the Jaguars for value, but I really like the Patriots. That they're way down the list in the bottom half of the league there, and they're still the Patriots. They still got a coach. His name is still Bill Belichick. I know they missed the play. I know they're not looking good. Obviously, the quarterback situation. Do you stick with the average guy? Do you try to make a play for a great quarterback? But they already handled the offensive coordinator. That was a big problem with them this year.
Yeah.
They brought in a guy that has been in this system before and has had success with Bill Belichick before. Love him or hate him, the guy can call some offense. He can call some plays. Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick. Don't forget who this guy is. With those type of odds, you never count Bill Belichick out. You want to put down a bet that gets some great value, you bet on Bill Belichick and the Patriots. Okay, he's still Bill Belichick. He's still the greatest coach in the history of the sport. Great odds. Patriots.
Okay, let's talk about overrated here. All right, I'm going to ride with you on the Patriots because you know Belichick, and of course you played on New England. You know Tom Brady as well, so you know how that whole organization works. Overrated teams. I'm seeing Dallas at 18-1. What say you?
Yeah, I think, I mean, them
It's
being
been so
ahead
long.
of it's still long. I like the Cowboys, but I don't see the Cowboys winning the Super Bowl, man. I mean, there's no way, in my opinion, they're the sixth best team in the league. You're telling me they got the sixth best chance of winning the Super Bowl next year? I don't think so. I think you put the Chargers. I think you put the Jaguars ahead of them. I even think you go as far to put the Lions and the Jets. The Jets are a low key pick as well. Okay, obviously we know the Jets. The Jets, they just completely crumbled down the stretch. But they need one player.
Aaron
Say
Rodgers.
maybe a guy named Aaron Rodgers comes to the New York Jets. The Jets become an actual team that can win a championship. Okay, you get a quarterback with the Jets, Aaron Rodgers, after he comes out the darkness, you think darkness is your ally. I was born in the dark. After he gets off his darkness retreat, Aaron Rodgers wants to come back and play. He sees this New York Jet defense. He sees they got some young receivers that can play, decent O-line. Maybe Aaron Rodgers goes to the Jets, and the New York Jets have a good chance of winning the Super Bowl. That is good value. I promise you, if the Jets sign Aaron Rodgers, those odds go way up.
Perhaps once Rodgers sees the light, Clay, he will sign with the New York Jets. They have a lot of cap space, so they can shell out the cash for one Aaron Rodgers. By the way, side note, have you ever done that, Clay? We've talked about your supplements and your workout routines, your mindfulness. Have you ever considered a darkness retreat?
No, Cam, I'm all about health and wellness, and I look into the industry and I study. I watch the Huberman Labs podcast religiously, just getting little tips and pointers. And obviously, a big workout guy. I mean, you can see the size of the shirts, an extra medium there. But
Right.
never done the darkness retreat. I make sure to look at the sun, do all this stuff. A darkness retreat, man, you're talking about 4 days in the pitch black, and this just isn't dim. This is the black, dark. You're not seeing the light at all. Solitary confinement. This is crazy. I mean, it has to be interesting. Doesn't appeal to me, even as a health and wellness guy, a fitness guy. But maybe, like you said, maybe Aaron Rodgers will see the light after the darkness and sign with the Jets. And the Jets could be a team that could become one of the favorites, one of those sexy picks to win the Super Bowl if they got a guy named Aaron Rodgers at the helm.
25-1 over at Bet Online. I like that play a lot, Clay. Let's go to some quarterback odds here. All right. We'll start with Derek Carr, who is no longer a member of the Las Vegas Raiders. He is favorited to go to the Carolina Panthers plus 140 over at Bet Online. You've got the Saints at plus 150, the Jets 3-1, the Bucks 9-1. Patriots, and then Commanders 14-1, 16-1, respectively. Clay, first of all, can you imagine yourself as a player saying, no, I don't want to be traded, release me now? Because that's basically what happened with Derek Carr.
Well, that's crazy. He doesn't want to be traded. And now he's got his pick. This guy is a free agent. I mean, this is, for him, this is just a beautiful scenario. This is incredible. He's an unrestricted free agent, and he can go wherever he wants.
He can do his own little tour.
He could. That's incredible. I mean, I think he did a great job, and I know the Raiders, obviously, they didn't want to be on the hook for that salary, and that's why they got rid of him when they did. He's got the no trade clause. So, I mean, I think it's a good move for him, and I think that now these teams are going to bid, and I think he's going to get another payday. He's a guy that's shown he can be a guy, but I don't know if he's the guy. But if you put him on the right team, a team where he doesn't have to do the work, where he's not looked at as a savior, he's not looked at as a Josh Allen, a Patrick Mahomes, he's not looked at as one of those guys. You put him on a good team, I think he can get it done. I think he can win a championship.
All right, buddy. I'm sitting on the couch with my boys, sipping on some high noons. I've got my Bet Online app open. I want to place a bet on Derek Carr's next team. Where's the value here? Carolina, New Orleans, the Jets? What do you think?
I think obviously Carolina's, is the favorite. I mean, you've already seen all the connections and you've heard all the rumblings about Carolina. But for me, I like the Bucks, man. The Bucks, I think 9-1. I think the Bucks is a good opportunity there. Go to Bucks. Obviously, they need a quarterback. They're not going into bat with the backups. They got Tom Brady's going to be, sipping Mai Tais and and making $375 million on Fox Sports just talking about the games. They need a guy to come out. So I think the Bucs are going to start looking. They're going to see, hey, he's not Tom, but he can step in. He can keep us competitive. They still got some weapons. They're an aging team. I don't know if they're ready to just explode it and just try to go young, rebuild yet. They still have a team set up. They won their division, okay? I think they bring in a veteran guy. They think they can still get it done. Tom Brady didn't play like the Tom Brady that we're thinking of last year, and they still won the South, right? So if they got a guy, I think this could actually be an upgrade for them as opposed to how Tom Brady played last season. You could still win this division. You could still make a splash in the playoffs. That's why I think they're going to take a long, hard look at David Carr.
Don't sleep, by the way, on that offensive line that's going to be healthier next season, Clay. I love that pick. I'm riding with it. 9-1 for Tampa Bay. Quickly, let's go to Lamar Jackson. We don't know for sure if he's leaving the Ravens, but the Falcons are the favorites, 3-1 as we stand. Then you have the Jets at plus 350, Raiders plus 450, Bucks, Patriots, Panthers down the line from there. Clay, this is just if Lamar Jackson is no longer on the Ravens. Where is the value here?
You know, I think the Falcons is an easy, looking at the offense they have with Mariota and some of the things they've done in the past would be seamless. But if you want to get the big value, I think maybe look at the Patriots. You saw the Patriots. They're not afraid to go with the running quarterback, a guy like Cam Newton. They can change an offense. Like I used to play for the Patriots. They are so good about playing to the strengths of their quarterback. So I was there for Deflategate. Tom Brady's out. Jimmy Garoppolo's playing. Mm-hmm. Jimmy Garoppolo plays 2 games. We get 2 wins. He gets hurt. Okay, the offense is pretty much similar offense we had with Tom in the offseason. Okay, Jimmy goes down, and then we have Jacoby Brissett step in. Jacoby Brissett, in 1 week, we completely shifted it wasn't even a week. It was Sunday to Thursday. We're playing a Thursday night game.
Right.
Offense completely shifted. Jacoby Brissett, we're running the option. We're running a lot of move stuff. Doesn't even look like the same offense. We did that in less than a week. Jacoby Brissett comes in. We get a win against, back then the Texans were a good team, against a good team, the Houston Texans, with Jacoby Brissett as our quarterback on less than 3 days to change this offense. Giving the Patriots Lamar Jackson, they will change this offense around. They will play to his strengths. And I think they'll be in the top of that division again. I think they'll be a competitor. So for your value, I think a low-key team that would have some interest in Lamar Jackson is my man Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots.
Whoa. Okay. Plus 750, Clay.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with Lamar Jackson. My guy, my quarterback. Listen, I like your logic with the Atlanta Falcons. Love that system. Arthur Smith does a great job over there. So I'll throw some shekels down on 3-1 with Atlanta. Let's look ahead now to the NFL draft. First overall pick odds, courtesy of BetOnline. This is your go-to, Clay. You love the NFL draft. You've been great on Twitter with your analysis. Bryce Young, the favorite. You're laying some juice here, Clay. Minus 130, quarterback out of Alabama, of course. C.J. Stroud, plus 275. Will Levis, plus 500. Jalen Carter, plus 550. Will Anderson, plus 700. Anthony Richardson is on the board, 45-1. 45-1 to be the number 1 overall pick, Clay. Your assessment of this board, where is the value in your opinion?
Okay, obviously everybody thinks the Bears are going to trade the pick to either the Texans or the Colts, and then, then they're going to draft Bryce Young. To me, the smart money's on Carter or Anderson, 5-1, 7-1, because here's the deal. The trade market, to me, isn't as good as it looks. The teams are going to look and see the Bears aren't drafting a quarterback. You hear all this noise. Maybe they draft a quarterback and trade Justin Fields. To me, it's all a negotiation tactic. They're not going to do that. Chicago would revolt. The whole city would revolt if they traded Justin Fields. So the Houston Texans, if they're not scared someone's going to jump up, they know the Bears don't want to leave the top 4. Only team they have to worry about is the Colts. The Colts, Irsay's over here trolling the Bears on Twitter, talking about he really loves Chicago. He's riding a bear as a kid. I don't think the Colts are willing to risk sending away their first round pick next year, second round pick this year. They're not going to risk it because they know if things stay the way they're going to stay now, guess what? We're going to get Stroud, Levis, or Young, and these guys are all grouped together. So for me, I think the Bears are going to have to stay where they are. What do they need? What does Matt Eberflus's defensive scheme need? A 3 technique and a pass rusher on the edge. It's either going to be Carter or Anderson. I think it's Carter. I think he takes the 3 technique that he needs, Matt Eberflus's defense needs. So Jalen Carter, in my opinion, for the value, is the pick.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm not laying the juice on Bryce Young. You can go ahead and project that the Bears are going to trade back, but the value is 100% right there with Jalen Carter and Will Anderson, because that's who presumably the Bears will draft if they remain at the number 1 spot right there.
Yeah.
Clay Harbor, I'm riding with you all the way on that one as well, my friend. Fantastic analysis right here on Believe Me on Stadium. He's Clay Harbor. My name's Cam Rodgers. We'll talk to you guys next time.